Hi, beautiful. In your heart, deep down, do you desire more? And that you want realer things and deeper things. And maybe sometimes you feel left behind watching others achieve things with ease. Here is me trying to break down something simple yet so powerful that holds us back from making that step. It's not that I'm gonna do this video now and you're gonna watch this video and then all of a sudden your life is going to transform. But hey, self-awareness helps us make different choices. There are so many mindset coaches out there telling you write down your goals, visualize your goals, expand your reality, expand your horizon, and you're going to attract your reality. Well, I wish it was that easy. And for some people, yes, it does work, but for others, there are certain things that hold us back. And maybe you're thinking, why can't I get the vision that I have into my reality? You're not alone, and there's nothing wrong with you, and you have all the capacity and you have all the ability, and you're amazing and you're enough. But there's something that gets in the way. So the big why behind all of this is our unconscious. We have conscious and unconscious mind, and I'm going to try to break it down in a very simple way for you. So we have the consciousness or your conscious mind, and this is your critical mind, critical thinking. These are things that you can easily remember. Then if we have to go a layer deeper than that, we have the subconscious mind. These are things that maybe you forgot that you remember, and these are things that you can easily remember, like things that happened last year or things that are just not at the forefront of your mind. Then after that, we have the unconscious, the personal unconscious, and this is where we have all the stories, all the beliefs, all the meanings that we have given and we're not aware of. So the unconscious mind is everything we don't know that we don't know. And the unconscious mind is like this big, strict old man that is really concerned about us and cares about us, and he wants to keep us safe and is our protector. However, the unconscious mind works based off of our experiences already. So if you've had an experience and you gave a certain meaning to that experience, now this old man unconscious is going to apply the same meaning to similar experiences in your current and in your future as well. And as I said, his role is to keep us safe and protected. And unfortunately, sometimes this keeps us in a safe zone, in a comfort zone, and doesn't allow us to come out of this comfort zone in case things are not safe. We're not supposed to do things that are not familiar, according to the unconscious mind. Then after that, we have the collective unconscious mind or the collective unconsciousness, and this is everything that we don't know about the world outside of us, outside of our reality. Now, knowing what the unconscious mind does and why it does it, we're going to look at how do we create those meanings and beliefs from our experiences. In order to look at this properly, I'm going to describe for you how we actually process information. The only information that we receive from the external world is through our senses, our vision, our hearing, our taste, touch, etc. So all the information that we receive is sensory information. It has zero meaning. Just imagine a baby that doesn't have awareness of the world yet. What does a baby receive as an information? Baby can hear or the baby can see. However, the baby does not give any meaning to what it hears, what it sees, what it tastes, because it does not have definition of things yet. And most importantly, babies don't speak language. So we start introducing meaning to our stories or to what we receive as a sensory information once we're introduced to language, probably around the age of 3 and older. After we've received information through our senses, we have this meaning making process. Per second, we receive about 400 billion bits of information through our senses. So our conscious mind deletes what's not relevant to us, distorts what doesn't fit our past experiences, and generalizes to just simplify things. So based of what we've collected as data and what kind of meaning we have given to the information we've received, we create our book of rules, our beliefs, our values, and our story in general. Some of those beliefs, however, are limited in nature. For example, your goal in life might be to build wealth. I have been seeing your caregivers work 15 hours a day and always budgeting the month. Conscious mind might have given the meaning of making money as something hard and something that you have to work really hard and you have to budget a lot and it takes a lot of time. So these unconscious beliefs at the back of your mind are running your decision-making process in the future. So when we're talking about changing beliefs, values, and stories in a way that they serve us and are not limiting in nature, we have a couple of ways of doing this. In psychotherapy, we work with parts of self. The child in you that got bullied in school, or maybe this is a part of you that got rejected from a job. All those parts of ourselves get frozen in time, and they create those stories and beliefs in our unconscious that keep us from expanding outside of this comfort zone, outside of this familiarity. So one way of changing this is by integrating those parts of self. Connect with that part of you that you would like to integrate. Whether that is something that's holding you back from opening up when it comes to love, or a part of you that maybe is running away when things become hard, or maybe that's just your inner critic. We all have an inner critic. Drop down in your body, quiet your mind, connect with that part of you. The first step is to acknowledge it, greet it, because we're about to create a relationship with that part. Second, try to see things from the part's perspective. Understand why the part of you that criticizes you does it. And usually, in this very moment, a shift happens within the body. The very moment when we acknowledge the existence of it, and when we see its perspective, something shifts inside of the body. Then you may want to try and check in with yourself and what is your relationship with that part. How do you feel about that part of you? If you're working with your inner critic, how do you feel about your inner critic? Are you in a resistance mode? Are you trying to reject it? Or are you accepting? So usually, if you're able to see things from the perspective of your inner critic, it's much more easier to develop compassion and integrate that part. The other way of dealing with limiting beliefs or unconscious beliefs that are holding us back is simply journal your story. What marriage is for you, or what love is for you, or what making money is for you, or what wealth is for you. You're going to find out a lot of beliefs that you have there, and you'll be able to see which one of those are limiting in nature and are not aligned with your goal. Journaling about your past and your experience sometimes is easier than just thinking of what do I believe about this thing. For example, one of my clients, and she's allowed me to share this story, had journaled this. Growing up, my dad always had to choose between his parents and us, his family. Oftentimes, he wasn't there for our birthdays or for Christmas or for anniversaries. And that taught me that men have other responsibilities too. It taught me that love is not always a priority, because priorities are just that, priorities. Whatever comes first has to be attended. So I grew up believing that a man is only going to show you his love when he has time for it, or when his priorities allows him to. Later on in life, I found myself in my first relationship that lasted for 10 years, and I felt always really lonely. He was lovely, however, I just couldn't connect with him. I felt really lonely, and even though he was always there, and I didn't even think of leaving the relationship because I guess I was just used to being in a situation where I feel lonely and just assume love was there. After that relationship, I entered another relationship for about 7 years. And his priorities was always his career, always traveling and always being away. And I followed him. I followed him everywhere. I supported his growth. I supported his responsibilities. Again, being left with a sense of loneliness in that relationship as well. So this can give you an example how my client really dreamed of a soulmate connection, of somebody who is going to be her best friend, and they're going to grow through life together, and they're going to have an amazing loyalty towards each other, and they're going to spend a lot of time together. However, journaling this really gave her clarity why she always found herself in a relationship where, despite of the feeling of not being chosen, because her unconscious mind and her beliefs about the partner putting her first were limiting in nature. So I hope this was an interesting topic for you. Let me know in the comments if you try any of those practices or if any of this relates to you. Have you tried it before? And let's connect.